When the tables are turned. Jesus dying on the cross. What agony for Mary to witness. I wonder if Simeon's words came back to her in those long, grief-stricken moments. Although we don't know for sure, we assume that by then Joseph had died, and Jesus, as the eldest son, would have been the one to have provided for his mother. In Jewish law, that responsibility of care would have passed on to the next brother in line after Jesus died. But for whatever reason, there on the cross, in the middle of his own agony, Jesus thinks about his mother, and he tells one of his disciples. The one whom Jesus loved is usually assumed to be John, and John's way of referring to himself. And in effect, Jesus tells him to look after Mary as though she were his own mother. When we are young, our parents do everything for us and we rely on them. Gradually, as we grow older, we become independent and we become more like equals, although there's often that awkward adolescent stage when we're finding our way to that point. Mark Twain summed up what a lot of people might find reminiscent of their own experience. Only in his case, he was referring to his father, but I think it works equally for either parent. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant that I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much he had learned in 7 years. If our relationship with our parents is good, it may be that we have long years of friendship with them, maybe with both sides enjoying the blessings of grandparenthood. Sometimes, though, sadly, as they get older and frailer, we may find that the tables are turned and we become the ones who care for them as they once cared for us. Some of you might be in that position now. Others might find that it is happening to them, and they are the ones who are being looked after, and that's not easy either. It's not easy for either party, and grace and kindness are needed. There's a lovely poem by Anne Lewin in this book of hers, Watching for the Kingfisher. She cared for her own mother when the latter had dementia. And just going to share with you this one where she comes home and her mother doesn't recognize her. A nighted figure on the stairs, the second time that evening. I can't sleep. Once more I led my mother back to bed. Sleep well, I said. I'll soon be up myself. Don't disturb Anne, she said maternally. I won't, said Anne. Love can hurt. Love often does hurt because it calls for sacrifice. When we were little, our mothers cared for us, sacrificing sleep, putting themselves second, ensuring our needs were met before theirs were. Later, if we became parents ourselves, we will have known what that was all about. I never appreciated all that my mum did for me so much as when I became a mother myself. Later still, there may be a need for even greater sacrifice. But what has brought us to that point, except love itself? I'm sure that Mary's heart was torn in two the day Jesus died. No one should witness the death of their child before their own, yet many do. Take me instead, we bargain, but it is what it is. May it comfort those of you who have known your own child to die, to know that Mary knew what that felt like. And for those who find the tables have turned and who are parents to their parent, know that Jesus himself knows what you are going through. And for each of us, help to recognize that it is in the human love we receive that we first come to know God's love. And it is in the love we give to others that we become more like Jesus. May God bless each one of us in all of our complex, sometimes difficult, often beautiful relationships of love. And may the mother love of God sustain us always. Amen.